We are in Appa in sort of a way that we haven't ever been before. We have finished our traveling to all 50 states, and we got to a point where we realized that we had kind of done all of the journeying that we had initially hoped to in terms of van life in the United States in Appa. And looking back to when we very first had this dream of traveling, we knew that we wanted to do some international traveling to see the world. And when COVID...
there's like a rattle coming back there because the thing's not closed all the way, so let me fix that.
So when COVID happened, international travel kind of went out the window, and we ended up looking at van life because we knew we wanted to travel.
All that to say is that we're selling our van. So basically we listed our van about a week ago just on Facebook Marketplace. We were kind of getting like a, oh, is this still available? Some generic questions, but I listed it in the camper van for sale specific Facebook page today, a couple hours ago, and within minutes we started getting like a lot of hits, people actually scheduling times to come see it. And so if you're thinking about selling your van, definitely check there. But yeah, it's about 11:30 and I just confirmed somebody coming to see us at 10, see the van at 10, and we're just gonna take it on a little ride to make sure that everything's fine. It all should be, but
we haven't driven it really extensively since we've gotten home.
We've driven it like once a week just to make sure that
it's still running good and there's no issues. And we went through it, got it inspected, everything should be good. But I think for us, we
just want to make sure.
Yeah, we just want to make sure, but we have sort of been in like the mindset of, oh yeah, we're selling the van, but haven't gotten any real hits. So this feels very real and kind of very sudden.
Yeah.
To go from being...
And it's stupid to be upset about it because like we want to sell it, but
I think the van was part of the adventures. I mean, it was about
and it's part of like
van.
who we were for so long.
Yeah.
It's stupid to cry because like we want to sell it, and I'm happy that like it's obviously getting so much traction online because we're really proud of it, and like we hope that the next owner gets just as much fun.
Yeah, amazing adventures that continue, because it's been about like I couldn't imagine doing what we did in a different vehicle, and Appa's felt like a part of the journey. It hasn't just been like, oh, we're jumping in our car and going. It's been Appa has been as much a part of this like team, and getting to all of these places, like crossing the finish line in Route 1 on our very first road trip. We made sure that after we touched the sign, we drove to the very end of the road so that Appa could get over the line as well. And I think that it's just tough to let go of that.
Yeah, it's like saying goodbye to an old friend a little bit. So, but we're really excited to see what the new chapter brings, and selling Appa will give us a little bit of a nest egg.
A starting point, yeah.
For travel. We're not like one of those people who saved up a bunch of money and like quit their jobs. Like we're both working, we both still have bills every month, so. Yeah,
we still have our apartment that we pay for.
Yeah.
So we've now kind of gone, for us, it hasn't been on the videos yet, or it will be at this point, but we we're now in the saving mode of,
we're going to be home for a couple of months.
Work really hard to put some money back to be able to go out and do this again.
Which is also why this is hard, because I feel like this is saying goodbye to like freedom and traveling and something that made us really happy. And we don't really know when the next time is that we're going to get back out there again, because it's really going to depend on how much we save, how fast we save, how much we can kind of transition, possibly find like a remote job that will work a little bit better internationally, or at least save up enough to be able to take a sabbatical, or we really don't know. And we're rambling at this point, but
well, we'll start hitting the road, and then so we just want to drive a little bit and make sure things are smooth, there's not any issues.
Because somebody's coming tomorrow at 10.
Yeah, we have to get out of the driveway first, but yeah, I think it's just weird because it's been about the happiest I think we've ever been was traveling in Appa, and to know that that's coming to an end is just tough.
I'm just making sure you're not gonna hit our blue car as we're packing.
Trying to stay over.
It's the next morning. I'm feeling a lot better. I think I was just like really emotional because it felt like everything was happening so fast. Because it was happening so slow to begin with. It's been posted for about a week and we haven't really had any hits. And then like I said, I posted it in that group, and then like I've had at least 20 people reach out to me in the last like
12 hours, really. Yeah.
So it just felt really overwhelming and like made it feel real, because before when we were talking about selling our van, it didn't feel real, but now this morning we have somebody coming to look at it, and yeah, this is the first step for our next adventure.
Yeah, I feel better this morning as well. We had a chance to get up and go through the van, make sure everything was ready to go in case we do sell it today. But we're here just a couple minutes away from the person getting here to look. They seem really excited to get the van and have...
Really nice.
Yeah, really nice. Have some great travel plans. They want to go see national parks, which we really, really enjoyed. That was absolutely one of our most exciting things and our favorite things to do while we visited all of the 50 states. So I think that if they choose to buy Appa, they'll have an amazing journey, and that's like all I would hope for, I think.
It's a little bit weird. It feels like kind of invasive to have people come over and like look Appa up and down.
Judge.
Not even judge, but just be like, this is like our child or like our home. Like,
yeah, that we put so much time and effort into building, and we learn so much and just have so many memories.
So I'm very nervous for somebody to come over and just look through our van, but it's not our van. I mean, it's still our van until it's not our van, but it's a weird transition period.
But we are excited because we are really, really looking forward to continuing to travel and traveling in different ways. And in selling Appa, we'll be able to have additional funds to kind of jumpstart that process. We obviously still have to work for a couple months to build our savings. Van life isn't cheap, and we definitely spent a good amount of money traveling and having an unbelievable experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But continuing on, we have a little bit of a downtime before we can go back out, but this sort of feels like a nice place to close this chapter, having visited all 50 states and having such an amazing journey, and to sort of close the van life chapter and maybe open up a new chapter of international travel or just something new.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if it's the end yet. We'll know after the person comes to check it out.
Yeah.
So, next clip you'll know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where we left off.
I think we left off the first woman was arriving.
Okay. It's been several weeks later, so this is not the next scene after we thought that Appa was potentially being purchased. It's been a whole series of events since then, and what we can say from selling a van is that it's a little bit stressful, and it's definitely a patience and waiting game.
Yeah.
But I think throughout the process, even though it's been kind of long and tedious, it's allowed us to come to terms and feel a lot better about, I don't want to say like getting rid of our van.
Giving up Appa?
Yeah, because it sounds so harsh, but because it's been such a process, we've had a lot of time to like sit with it and kind of like cope, and now we're just ready for the saga of trying to sell something through Facebook Marketplace and lots of different forums to end. Don't get us wrong, we're definitely very nostalgic feeling and sad to still be closing this chapter, but it doesn't feel as raw as it did when we first listed the van.
Yeah. The effort it takes to sell a vehicle online was way different than anything we would have anticipated, and so that was kind of a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress.
We've never sold anything of this scale before, especially because it's not just like a regular vehicle, it's a camper van, and it feels like it's a part of us too. So every time we had somebody coming to look at it, it felt very personal in the best possible way, because we were very proud of it, but then we were also very like anxious of like, oh, what are they gonna say if they say anything negative? And they never did, thankfully. Everybody who did come to look at it was always very kind and open to the idea of living out of a small van like this. So to give a quick recap, as soon as we posted on Facebook Marketplace, we got a flood of, is it still available? A million questions being sent to be answered. So we had somebody immediately want to come the following day and look at it. They liked it, but it was a bit out of their price range, and
I think just the mobility aspect of it, of getting in and out and crawling from the front to the back, that you kind of have to do with this van, wasn't something that they were really able to do, so it just wasn't the right fit.
Yeah.
They were super excited to have seen it and thought it was really cool, but it just wasn't going to work for them.
Yeah, and then the second set of buyers that we had come was a couple, and they were super interested. They just had 2 dogs that unfortunately didn't fit. They came back a second time to see if their dog beds would fit in there. We got to pet the dogs, which was really cute and fun, so it was still a win in our book, but unfortunately this small of a van just wouldn't work for them, even though they were really hoping it would. And then the third, and hopefully, knock on wood, final potential buyer put in an offer, and we're moving forward on the next steps, which is why we're currently in Appa now. So we're driving to their mechanic to just get it looked at.
Which we actually had one of the rounds of prospective buyers.
Oh no, there was a fourth person.
Yeah.
This is the fourth one. I missed the third one.
Yes. And so we had another person come in, look at it, weren't really able to get finances in order in time for buying it, but they were really interested, and they actually had taken it to get it looked at by a mechanic. So this is the second round of doing this.
Yeah.
And obviously no issue, so we're feeling good about that. Knowing that you need to be the right person to want this type of van helped get us through, and feeling like, will it sell? We knew it would eventually, but it just took a little bit of time for the right people to come along. So we're really excited, and hopefully they'll get the chance to have a ton of adventures in Appa the way that we have.
So we are headed to their mechanic now to get it looked over. The third person, because I got it mixed up, there was a person between here, took it in, and the mechanic said that it was really good for its age and that there was no issues. So we're hoping that this one also
Concurs.
Says the same thing, because we really like the buyers and think that they would be a good fit. They're another couple and seem very adventurous and were very nice.
Love road tripping.
Yeah, said that they road trip all the time, and I think this is definitely the perfect road trip vehicle. They currently tent camp a lot, and I was like, perfect. We always kind of say that this is like a tent on wheels, so it's definitely like the next step up from tenting. And yeah, they were really open to something of this size, took it for a test drive, liked it. So yeah, I feel good that if these are the people that we leave our van with, that it'll be taken on a lot more adventures as it should.
Yeah, everything is kind of worked out the way that I think it was meant to, and we're really excited.
It'll continue to.
Yeah.
But now I feel like we're just rambling because we're really anxious, and it's about a half-hour drive to get there from where we are, so yeah, we're killing time. Our van might sell today. We did a deep clean of our van, we scrubbed the inside, we cleaned up the outside. Right now we're just driving it to fill up some gas because the e-tank was on and we didn't want to pass it on to the new owners with no gas. I think we're on the more excited to be selling our van and moving on to the next chapter rather than being sad about it going. But who knows once it's no longer in our driveway how we'll feel. But it's really hard to sell your van, and we've had to go through a lot of different websites, a lot of different communications with people, and I think just selling anything like on a public space like Facebook Marketplace, it's a lot of work. So yeah, it feels good to be having this chapter come to a close, both trying to sell a vehicle and
van life in general.
Yeah, because we're so excited for what comes next. All right, last time filling up the van.
Yep. From like E to wherever it ends up.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah. So it's gone. It's different than I thought it would feel. I'm excited because of what is coming next and all of the stuff in the future, but you know, you invest so much time into
it feels like our baby.
Yeah, into a dream, you know.
I was upset the first time and now it's your time to be upset.
Yeah, so I'm very happy. I think it's going to a great new home that has a lot of adventures waiting for them. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm happy because we're going to be moving forward and doing international travel, which was something that we've always dreamed about since we were younger, and we're really going to have the opportunity to do that. So it really is just amazing all the way around. It just, I guess, seeing it drive away, and
yeah, that was surreal.
I guess like always being a bit worried about things, because we knew how to make everything work, and I'm sure that they'll figure it out as well and things will go great, but it just, you still feel protective and want to make sure that things are going well for everyone. So it is very cool, and we are very excited. I think just that emotional hit of seeing it drive away and kind of, I guess, yeah, the emotions of it.
I've gotten sad here and there, but today it feels good. Today I'm excited. We closed this chapter, and I'm just excited to see what comes next because truthfully, we don't really know.
I'm living my best life. I wake up with the sunrise. It does not look a thing like I thought that it would, but I've been getting my steps in, and I sleep with my best friend. It's the best that it has been in a long time. I'm living my best life.